Welcome to Presence Dialogues. I'm your host, Joe Diamo. A presence dialogue is an approach to communication in which participants tune into a frequency of consciousness, a quality of listening beyond the personal level, with the accent on the novelty of the present moment. We tap into a field in which we are at best conduits for the deeper intuitive intelligence of the heart. The topic for tonight's exploration is the good. The good is a concept in philosophy that corresponds to love in the Platonic dialogues, for instance. And we're going to explore what that is in us as we're speaking. And we invite you to participate, to use this as a communal kind of meditational experience. It's at once a practice in awareness for the audience and for us, for presence, and a discovery process for all of us. So my guest today is Marilyn Rice. Hello, Marilyn.
Hey, Joe.
And we're going to talk about the good. We're going to talk about the good, and if there's any experiential basis for that. Would you like to start?
I'm listening to those words, and if there's any experiential basis for that, what are you saying exactly?
Okay. That if we go in and if we get very quiet, we can tap into sort of a field of silence, inner silence, sort of like a blank slate. You know, the mind sort of cognizes it as a blank slate, but it's a place of peace, of equanimity, a place of where the watcher is very much present, and it has a substance or a quality of consciousness that I would say we could say corresponds to the good, in the sense that when we're in that frequency, when we're in that equanimity and awareness, it feels that only good comes out of it. You know, that insight comes out of it, that peace, that harmony, that it's the place of all valuable qualities. There's no negativity in that space. There's no even comparison, because it sort of takes everything as a whole. It doesn't make divisions. It's rich. It's juicy, even at some level, and it's love, also in the sense of the connectivity and that feeling of value, the value of being itself. Maybe we could start with that.
Thank you so much for being a partner to talking and having that presence while you're speaking, because first of all, it clarified what it was that you said in the very beginning, and it also has already opened up that field to play in as we speak, and it's just become very apparent. And of course, it's not the first time, but every time it happens, it's a totally new experience that one can very humbly say that at our core, we're good. And thanks God for that, because it's that goodness that we share in common.
So you're saying that feeling is there now? To some extent you have that feeling
You
at
don't
this
feel
present moment. I feel it. But
Absolutely.
I'm just asking you.
That is the moment from which I would say a presence dialogue can take place. That is the moment where it's a dialogue and not a debate, because we are sharing a field. and there cannot be an against in that field. That is the good, and that is the gift. That is the gift of the good. And what I feel and started to share before is I feel, there's a saying that that Einstein said that genius is knowing, no, it was Emerson, Ralph Waldo Emerson, knowing in our hearts that what is true for us is true for all men. I would say that ultimate truth for all men is that at the core we are good.
Where there is a goodness, something that could be called goodness, that's the foundation of what we are. I think that's what came up for me was when he says it, you can, if you take it on the level of the surface mind, you could say, well, what I think all men should think, because what I think, I know it's true for me, but it's not from the mental level. It's like, and he says, what's true for all men, what's true in your heart,
Yeah.
is
Not
true
in
for
your
all
mind.
men, and
Not in your mind.
that's a key.
Yeah.
So that means you have to be able to tap into the intelligence of the heart, and from that level, we're all, what's good for me is good for you, because it is of the nature of the good.
Joe, how can we assure now that we are speaking from goodness and not from surface mind? What is it that can protect, that can assure us that we are not saying one thing when we're actually, following a thought down to, the
And can following a thought still be done in presence? Can one follow a thought in presence? That might be a good question
my
also.
sense that, I've been in different schools of inner work where that actually was the work, and I have come to feel, to more than feel, I've come to know that it's a dangerous path to this path of presence. It is so easy to have one part of the ego observing another part of the ego. If something is feeling less than wonderful, I would question it.
Less than wonderful.
Less than wonderful. If we are in the core, and if the core is good, and when we're in that core of goodness, the only thing to witness is that good is everywhere. Good is everywhere.
And the good has a good feeling with it. It feels good.
It's a quantum good feeling.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good feeling that absolutely is expansive beyond anything that ordinary thinking capacity, dialogues, conversation can even suspect. And I suspect that we are touching into this right now.
It feels that way to me.
And how do we keep that? How do we keep that when we speak?
I'm doing it by keeping an awareness on myself as well as you, so that as much as I can on the total field, and not letting my mind jump around, but just keeping it quiet and listening from what I feel is a deeper place than I normally, than one would normally in normal life without making any effort would experience.
So let's see if this was not a Trump question. I'm not speaking of, unfortunate choice of words, but if it wasn't a deceptive, how can anything keep anything and allow it to be fresh and new and present?
So how could there be any kind of holding mentally onto anything
Yeah,
and still have a freshness of presence?
yeah.
It seems from my observation that I'm speaking now with words from the past, and I'm making complete sentences, and it feels to me like I perceive that I am able, if I make the effort, to be present, to be in this space, to be aware of you, to be aware of my body, sitting here in this room at the same time as I'm speaking, even though I'm speaking long sentences and paragraphs and so on and so forth, it seems to me.
And how would it be if 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 we drop that concept, if we dropped that explanation, if we just drop everything? What would be here? What would remain? What would
Okay.
protect? What would bring out the words? Can we do that? Can
Yeah.
we have that?
Let's try it. Let's do that.
Yeah.
So forget everything. Forget even the topic we're talking about.
Just to be in a more expansive,
Mhm.
present awareness that is not just this being speaking to that being, but letting go. The more it gets bigger, the more it even becomes a question, what is core? What is this core
Mhm.
of goodness?
Mhm.
Is it inside or is it outside? Am I in it or is it in me?
I can
All
feel
these
that right
things
now.
become the
Yeah.
question.
I can get right with what you're saying. And right now I feel like there's an awareness of that here,
Beautiful.
and that feels like a good place. Like it doesn't have to even be. There doesn't have to be any words either.
Shall we quit while we're ahead?
Since this is Presence Dialogues, we're trying to demonstrate a practice how to be in presence while we speak. So, and that good is the essence we're saying, or the core, it seems, of what we are in the moment, in presence, while we speak. So, it's a natural subject for discussion, for dialogue. And I forgot what I just said because I was just totally letting go.
Beautiful. And I think we also forgot that we wanted to make it short.
It is fairly short, and there's an awareness of that,
I love it, Joe.
and it's going to be real short now. We only have maybe a minute or so. We'll continue this inquiry, we'll say inquiry, on the good, the experiential, what does it mean, what does it mean in the presence, and in other presentations, in other presence dialogues, because we're trying to make these fairly short so they can be short quality meditations for us and for whoever's viewing this.
And
So-
whoever is viewing this, thank you, because it is such an aid, I find, I don't know about you,
It is.
to be vigilant.
It
in,
is.
In,
It has a payoff.
yeah, yeah.
So maybe we should stop there, because that's, we don't want to make it too long.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. And it was a pleasure to experience all that, and it is, at this moment, a pleasure to experience all that. And thank you from Presence Dialogues. My name is Joe Diamo, and this is Marilyn Rice. Thank you.